Right, welcome back, everybody. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you along with us. We are going to move to the Unil-Durbanville game in a second. Renz, do you think Super League A is starting to call it sort itself into two different divisions?
Yeah, look, most of the clubs played about 5 to 7 games already. So
Yeah.
this is now where you can actually start seeing the gap between the lower tier to the, top tier, to put it that way. So yes, definitely now you can start to see, okay, now you're planning for that top 6 spot. Now you have to start playing for that top 6.
Do you think, Alistair, do you think it's fair what we're seeing? I mean, we'll take a look at the log just now, but we're seeing good rugby, in fact, from all of the teams in Super League A.
Yeah, I got a different look on it. I think the top 11 teams in that league has the ability to play top 6.
Yeah.
Even if we look at when we look at the logs later, and the till team 11, they're playing good rugby. There's quality. The scores are tight on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You do get the odd big score, but those teams are not in the top 11. So there's 3 teams who I think might be in trouble, but the next 11 teams, they're still in a fight.
Yeah, folks, it's a win
tough
on any given day scenario. Yeah. But let's take a look. This is Unimil and Durbel, of course, playing at Unimil, first half. All right, here we go, folks. First off, the Unimil Durbel. Alistair, Durbel's got the upper hand here. Unimil are really going to have to change things.
Yeah, that first half, Durbel had a lot of possession, a lot of go forward ball, and they looked like they were dominating there, with it being in the contact or going out wide with their possession.
Home ground advantage here, Renz. What do you do to make home ground advantage work for you?
First things first, you need support.
Unimil's got support.
I think
they've got support in abundance.
They
it's
do.
the one club we know is going to have a great turnout every weekend. I've seen the, really the Unimil fans are there.
No, look, Japes, if like we said earlier, it's a transition phase for them at the moment, for building for them. But I also think, for them having that home advantage, It's also tough playing against the number one side, number two side of on the log for them going to that game. Forwards wise, I think Durbel is just a bit of a much bigger pack, and that's how they played the game so
All
far
right, well,
in the first half. Maybe it changed in the second half.
Maybe change in the second half.
Maybe
Yeah.
change
Well,
in
let's see. Unil Durbanville. Let's take a look at the second half. See who wins this game. Let's see. All right, there we go, folks. Final result going in favor of Durbanville. 46 points to 31. But, Alistair, what that means to me is that Unimil actually won the second half. And looking at that, it looked to me like good rugby, but one mistake and the other team capitalizes.
I was just about to mention that, JP. So, great rugby performance there from Unimil in the second half, but it shows you how clinical the Super League A is.
Yeah.
You make one mistake and the opposition will pounce on you and it can be detrimental to the scoreboard.
But is that not also a question that you must learn that if you make a mistake, you've got to reposition very quickly?
Yeah, your transition play, whether you're on attack or defense, you have to be alert.
Yeah.
You know, getting to back into play quickly.
Randall, the whole story is that if you don't want your opponents to score, make sure you don't give them the ball.
Yes, exactly. I think we just saw it there. You know, that
Shame.
one little pass, and then Durbel pounced it to win to go score. But yeah, as much as the ball is in the air, you know, you're not going to give the ball away. So keep the ball, secure the ball, you play from there. Simple as
The
that.
part that I really like about this is that when I look at these two clubs, I have no doubt that anyone who joins Durbanville or joins Unimil, you're going to end up playing good rugby. You're going to get good coaching, you're going to be on a good field, you're playing good rugby. I'm sure that there are many clubs even around the rest of the country that would look at that form of game there between those two clubs and think, wow, those are just clubs on another level.
But
Unimil and Durbel.
They're both established clubs. If you look at the establishment off the field, there's club culture, they've been established, they've been in this league for a long period of time. They've been playing good rugby, they've been in top positions in the league, you know, so something is working.
All right, folks, this is what we like to see. We in fact hardly look at the points, we just look at good rugby. We'll be back after the break, don't go away.